So hi everyone. I am doing the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education course talk here today for DCU. First I'm going to start off with my journey to BECE, or Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, otherwise known as. Hi, I'm Ava. I'm a second year BECE student here in DCU St. Pat's. Just a little bit about me before I get started. I was born and raised in Gorey County, Wexford. I love art, music, nutrition, traveling, nature, exercising, working in teams. I'm not saying that to gloat or anything. I just wanted to say to put it in because I found they're really important personality traits I have working in the BEC sector in DCU so far. Secondary school and how did I know BEC was for me? This is really relevant to a lot of other people since talking for open days and stuff. I was a Leaving Cert student, much like a lot of you here. And I knew I wanted to work with children. However, I didn't know in what way or what degree was best for me. So, for example, primary teaching was an option, but I wasn't dead set on primary teaching itself. Nutrition, law, psychology, they're more definite. And I knew I wanted to be with children, but they were too much for me. So, yeah, if you're the type of person like that, it's perfect for you, this course is. And then lastly on this slide is getting rid of this core stereotype. So a lot of people just see Bachelor of Early Childhood Education as a background route into primary school teaching, which is just not the case. There's a lot of bad stereotypes about it, as well as even as far as it's a waste of time and all that kind of stuff, which is just, I want to put it in the dark now. It's not the case, and it's not the way of thinking. Hopefully by the end of this presentation. So yeah, the basics of the course. This should be really relevant to you guys on Leaving Cert for CAO. But just really quickly, it is a level 8. It's 4 years in length. The points at the moment are 420. However, I put it up here because I do not want anyone to limit themselves on them points. You can't predict anything about the Leaving Cert 2025. And it is it's very flexible in the past few years. Placement, I'm going to get onto a little bit later on, but yes, there is placement, and other things that are not to the basic eye of course details are spaces and Erasmus. So there's around 70 people in my course at the moment, give or take a few. There is one boy out of the 69 other girls. However, I'm saying this now because it's a question asked a lot if boys are in the course. DCU really strive to have a lot of boys in the course, and we are really working to get more boys into it. I don't want it to scare any boys away thinking of doing the course for any reason, because you really are loved and we are really appreciated in the course. Erasmus, yes, there is an Erasmus. It's in year 3. And it gives you opportunities to go to a lot of different European countries, such as Hungary, Belgium, and Norway, which are really respected curriculums in the Irish curriculum itself. So modules in the course, I just want to go through. Of course, as I said, I'm in second year, so a few modules that are in the course and are really appealing to the eye of BEC are national frameworks and child protection legal frameworks. These both work in coalition with each other, and they really face off like child law and child legal issues and development issues, I suppose, in Irish society itself. So they're kind of hiding underneath them names. Child development 1 and 2, that's more so child psychology. Wellbeing, health and nutrition 1 and 2 speaks for itself, I suppose. Creativity in ECE, so art and music, that's in first year, and that just gives you ideas for placement of different stuff you can do in the classroom with children. Issues in professional learning and practice, that helps you in placement as well. Critical studies 1 and 2, that is kind of politics, and it really gets your opinion and advocacy for early childhood in DCU. It just basically gets it up and starting and advocate your own voice in placement and in the society it is. So language and cultural diversity works in coalition with diversity, equity and inclusion. This is brought up to in second year. And it really is, to be honest, it's about child developmental psychology. So if you're someone who's interested in maybe going into speech therapy or occupational therapy or anything of the sorts, these would be probably your favorite modules. Likewise for me, they're probably my favorite, and they teach you so much about children in general and their development in the brain. Drama and socio-dramatic play are also stuff just to help you at placement, and they just kind of get you out of your shell a bit more. And then technology and learning, which is the impact of technology in ECE, of course, in the world that we're living in. So how did the hours look on our timetable? So in semester 1 of year 2, which is what I'm in, it has been similar to year 1. However, days have changed. So on Monday, we're online from 1 to 3. So that's just one lecture. And then Tuesday, we're in 10 to 3. So we have 2 lectures. Wednesday, we're off completely. And Thursday and Friday, we're both in 10 to 3. The reason I've put up my timetable as well, it's really interesting to see people ask about it quite a bit. And on top of that, it's really just to show Leaving Cert students, if you're someone who's worried about the workload of coming into a degree, it's really helpful to understand that, like, especially in BECE, when you come into the course, the Leaving Cert, it doesn't feel like you're going in from a Leaving Cert into a harder Leaving Cert. You're not on a high intensity workload. However, something to keep in mind for all courses, if you're in a lot more, I found in experience that if you're on campus a lot more, you have a little bit less work to do at home. However, of course, there's a course that you're kind of at home quite a bit, and so Wednesdays are not your days off. You will have work to do. However, the benefits of being at home quite a bit of on travel, and even if you don't want to move away as a benefit, it's just really a easy one to have. So versus semester 2, which is what we're in now, it starts in January, and we are on placement now. So on Mondays, I'm in campus from 10 to 2 just to get into my lectures, speak about how I'm getting on. Placement is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Fridays, I am off completely. But again, it's for work and just to get up on top of assignments for placement. Just a bit more on placement before I move on. Placement is around 11 to 12 weeks in length. It occurs like from year 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not optional, it is mandatory. However, in years 1 and 2, you're in placements in like childhood centres and, creches, Montessori's, whatever it may be. And you can give your address and they will give you a suitable placement in your area. Years 3 and 4, which really appeals to everyone if you think you're going to add on to childhood education. So for example, if I'm looking to do psychology in years 3 and 4, I can go and work in psychology units, I can go to hospitals. So basically anything I can think of that will benefit my future and works in coalition with children, they can justify and get us to work on. So it's really helpful, and just to know it is for the 4 years, 11, 12 weeks. It's not too much workload, but yeah, it's definitely important to know. So assessments, so primarily continuous assessment. There's only exams in modules that are harder to assess continuously. So of course, continuous assessment suits a lot of people, and it is a big benefit if you're thinking of coming from the Leaving Cert. Of course, here all you can think about is exams, as I can imagine. So coming into this, I was the same. I was worried, was there going to be loads of exams? And there is none, like, to be honest. In year 1, we had 2. So we had child law and we had child development. And year 2, we only had 1 exam, which was child development. So yeah, it's quite easy on those, and continuous assessment is something that really suits a lot of people. So exams are done before Christmas and not after Christmas. So as Leaving Cert students, you probably aren't sure why I'm putting that pointer in. Of course, it's before Christmas, but in some universities, Christmas exams are actually done in January, which is really just not as it's not as good as having them before Christmas. So it's a big benefit to DCU and a big benefit, obviously, to the BECE course. And then placement assessment, so it's handing up different plans and observations every week. And then you have a visit from an inspector at the end of your placement term, so the 11 or 12 weeks. So yeah, again, really easy assessments. They're very easy to keep on top of, especially because you're home quite a bit, and not a lot of exams and main pointers there. So level 8, where can you go on from here? So what does the course offer you, really? At a level 8, it offers you a lot of opportunities. You can definitely go into the workforce after your level 8. You don't have to keep going. However, some of the roles you can go into is, of course, a childhood educator, managerial roles, inspector roles, so like TUSLA, earlier specialist roles, training coordinators, directors, entrepreneurs in the field. And of course, DCU really do advocate for us to be opinionated in society. Of course, for the BECE, it's really important. It's a very debated topic. We deserve a lot more in society, and as DCU members, they have us really using our voice a lot and to strive for what we believe we deserve in our society as a whole. And so further education and masters, a huge question I get asked all the time in open days and stuff is primary education. So yes, you can go on to primary education after doing the level 8 BECE course. However, a lot of people find when they join the course after the 4 years, it's not what they intend to do after they do the level 8, even if it was what they intended to do from the very beginning when they came in from the level 8 as a second option. But yeah, so primary education is definitely an option, and especially if you're someone who is worried about putting early ed as a second option, because you're Irish. If Irish is one of your weaker subjects, and BECE, they work a lot with you on your Irish, so that should not be a problem if you want to go into primary education. And it's such a good BECE is such a good thing to have down on your CAO, just for backup plans and suppose stuff like that. Child psychology, social work and child development, and of course the opportunities are really endless. It really does take us anywhere. We have people working with UNICEF, we have people working in TUSLA, we have people coming back from different volunteer working and opportunities in Ireland coming and giving us talks all the time. So it's really cool to see all the opportunities you can get from the course itself. And then finally, why DCU for BECE, or Bachelor of Early Childhood Education? The campuses are beautiful. As I mentioned, this is St. Pat's campus in the background. I know it's kind of blocked a little bit. But yeah, it's a beautiful campus. I'm not biased, but definitely better than DCU Glasnevin. You're submerging a campus solely built for like-minded people studying some form of education. So it's a campus solely built for people who are like you. BECE is respected as an education form. And people around you were all teaching in some ways. So it really is a cool place to be. It's a beautiful campus, really architectural and just beautiful design. We are located right beside DC Glasnevin, however. It's good for, different societies and stuff like that. It's really popular for clubs and stuff. Of course, DCU, the main campus of DCU in Ballymun. And so it's really good just to be beside them. And of course, we're right beside city centre. So we're right beside all the bus links, train links, everything like that to get home in the weekends and stuff like that. And of course, there's a lot of campus accommodations as well. So it's really handy to really be in the centre of everything, even if you're a little pocket of education submerged into Dublin city centre. It feels like one big family. The lecturers and staff are incredible. So Marlene and Grania are kind of names you'll be really prevalent in if you come into the BEC and DCU. They are just incredible. I was really worried about coming into the college. It's such a big difference from leaving cert and from secondary school in general. I was worried how I'd fit in, but no, DCU have really made it so that you're supported in every way you can be. They're a beautiful family. They have made me feel so welcome. And even that one boy who's in the course, the 69 girls, he loves it every day, and he talks about how highly they think of us all. And it really is just one huge community, and everyone is there to make sure you do the best you can. No one's there to try catch you out. They really do drag you with them, and you're in it for the long haul with them. So yeah, it's an incredible community. And you'll learn how to integrate your degree into the community in more ways than just as an educator. So that kind of links in with how I was saying before. People really do use their voice and opinion in today's Irish society. The BECE, Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, really gives you that. Although it's a family orientated kind of degree, it really does help us push forward as adults in the community and in the government, I suppose, as well, to speak up and speak for action in education where it needs to be, and especially for children where it needs to be. And honestly, it makes you grow in so much different ways of confidence and society aspects as well. So yeah, it's really an all benefit kind of course. If I do say so myself, no bias or anything. But yeah, so that is pretty much everything. I do have it open box for questions if anyone has any. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast or anything. I do have down there as well, so further help, a student help at dcu.ie. But of course, I'm going back to the chat box now. And if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask, because I will definitely be answering them all. So yeah. The course code, yes. So the course code is DC001. Did you find it easy to meet people through the course? Absolutely. I found it really easy to meet people through the course. As I said there in the last few slides, it's a really family orientated community in DCU. There's not many people in it, so I think on the DCU CAO page at the moment, there's no spaces recommended. So for example, like with primary teaching, there's a minimum space they allow, and I'm hoping that's so that they allow more people into the course this year. However, yeah, it's so easy to meet so many different people in college. Everyone's there to be doing the same thing you are, so a lot of like-minded people, and they help you as well. They push you to talk to people. Is there a lot of self-study? I wouldn't say there's a lot of self-study. There's definitely an aspect of, if you're someone who does better on your own and working on your own, then you'll fly this course. Some people do struggle with that. So it's not that there's a lot of self-study, but there's a lot of independence of, you are the person to do your work, if you get me. There's no one really there. Like on self-study days, they're not your days off, they are days to do work. So I hope that answers your question. There isn't a lot, but there is still some of the independence and responsibility to do it yourself, like all courses really, though. Yeah, so yeah, the course is DC001. Thanks so much, found this really helpful. That's no worries at all. Hopefully you got anything out of it. If not, feel free to contact me literally whenever. I'm on uni buddies and stuff like that, and I love talking about the course. So yeah, no worries. Is there a Gaeilge class? You mentioned getting help with it when going to primary education. There is a Gaeilge class, so it's actually new to DCU. They're putting it as like a project at the moment. That's another thing. DCU are really good at feedback, so you no problem, Caroline. Yeah, a lot of DCU's things are they get feedback and they like to work with you with it. So Gaeilge was integrated into year 2. It's a separate class, so it's basically just giving you your leaving cert. So in primary teaching, a lot of people where they downfall is in the Irish subject. So DCU have understood that, and it's a course, an exam you have to do before going into primary as a master's. And so in that case, they give you extra help on a Wednesday evening, I believe it is this year. I think it's a 3 year I think it's 2 years long and then 3 hour course on a Wednesday evening. And I think it's just giving you basically another shot at your leaving cert. It gives you that base level that you can go and do your Irish exam. I think it's like the TEG exam or something like that for your primary school masters. So it's really helpful. It's not too expensive either, and it just gives you a lot of opportunities as well with Irish, even if you just like Irish. So hopefully that answers your question. Would you recommend this course to people if they want to keep their options open for the masters? Absolutely. I cannot stress enough that the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, it gives you so many options for anything to do with children. So it's definitely a lot children based, of course. So if you know you want to work with children, but you just don't know how, so maybe law, psychology, nutrition, anything like that, I just cannot recommend it enough. And it gives you such a good baseline in all aspects of everything of working with children. So it really does, and it helps you with your social aspects so much as well. So again, even if it's something you're struggling with for CAO and you really are stuck, put it down. It's a fantastic course. Where can you go from after doing the course? Are there many options, and what are they? There are loads of options after the course. So you can go into primary education, which is a huge one, as a master's. You can go straight into early childhood work. So in creches and Montessori's, you can go into managerial roles, you can go into societal roles. So you can go work for companies like TUSLA, you can go work for government bodies. Really, the opportunities are endless. I'm personally going to go into psychology, hopefully after it anyway, and do child development psychology. So that would be kind of linking in with stuff like language development, speech therapy, occupational therapy, which are really big things in today's workforce that are looked for. Some people want to go into nursing. Some people want to go into, of course, primary teaching, as I was saying. And some people want, there's loads of stuff you can go into, really. So hopefully that answered that question. um, Thank you. No problem at all. The Gaeilge thing is actually really great. So I hope people aren't put off by doing the course afraid of their Irish. Would working abroad add an extra year to the course? No. So if you wanted to work abroad, as in Erasmus and stuff like that, no, it wouldn't. You can do it in year 3, and so it's just kind of like in placement. You do it. I'm not actually sure exactly how long the placement would be in Erasmus, so abroad, but it's kind of, we haven't dove into it too much. I don't believe it adds an extra year. I think it can be in between. However, I'm not too certain, but definitely get onto. I can look out for you and go onto the university's course, and I can look onto it for you more. You mentioned about child developmental psychology. What is that? Child developmental psychology. So I was working with things like autism, additional needs, can link into social working, but mainly like language therapy, and mainly like how the brain develops. So if you're interested in psychology from a child aspect, but you're not certain about going into it for actual baseline degree, it's great. It just dips into how the brain works as a child, how it develops, and how language develops, how their body develops, everything. So it's a really great module. It's probably one of my favorites, and helps you with theories in it as well. Would commuting and balancing study be difficult? No, it's honestly probably one of the easier courses for it. It really is not. It's very manageable, and a lot of people say it's very manageable, and it's really enjoyable as well. You're not in college much, but you're still in enough to get the college experience. Perfect. Thank you very much. That's no problem at all. I think it's gonna end soon, so hopefully not. But yeah. Again, I'm on Buddy, so if you have any questions and I don't get to answer them now, please do not hesitate to go on to me there. I'll answer them all. I really would talk for Ireland for the course. The Erasmus, I'm not too sure though, so definitely look into that more. I haven't got there yet myself. And also, thank you so much. That's no problem. Specific requirements? I don't believe so. It's just the common ones. I don't think Irish is as high either. I think it's just baseline pass. Not that I remember. I think it's just pass all your subjects. But could have changed. I don't think it has. Definitely go check out. But no, not that I remember. Do you think you'll do Erasmus? Personally, no. I don't know. I don't think so. But that's not to say it's not going to be great. I just am interested as much in those sides of the curriculum. So in Hungary, Norway, and Belgium, it's a great opportunity. However, I'm more interested in the American side, which is a completely different curriculum. So it's a great opportunity, though. I've heard nothing but amazing things. So